Hey guys, it's Lorna here at Neurology Solutions. I'm the PTA here in the PT department. I'm going to run you through a very beginner, easy bar series. Some ballet moves, but don't get frustrated. It's not easy, but we'll get through it. And I'm going to do everything on one side, so feel free to play the video back afterward and get your other side in. Okay? So we're going to start off in what's called first position. So your heels are going to be together. If they don't touch, that's perfectly fine, or maybe your feet are here or even here, that's totally fine. So we're going to start with our feet facing out, and all we're going to do is plie, and all that means is bend your knees, okay? So you want to make sure that your bottom is tucked under, your pelvis is tucked under, and keep nice and upright. Okay, so we're just going to do that 10 times, just a slight bend of the knees. Make sure your knees are going out over your toes. Okay, so we'll do 10. 1, and up. 2, and up. 3, don't worry about what this other arm is doing. 4, and up. 5, up. 6, we'll go to 10. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we'll do the reverse. So we're basically just going to go up on tippy toes. It's called releve. So we'll do 10 of those as well. Up and down. 2, 3. If you're feeling unsteady, you can certainly have both hands to steady yourself on a counter, on a chair, grab bar if you have it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're going to do all of that again, but with our feet facing straight forward as if we were going to do a mini squat. So the same rules apply. You never want your knees to go out past your toes. Okay, so it'll just be a nice subtle bend of the knees. We'll do 10. And I'll show you holding on here. You can see that my bottom is going to go straight down. Okay, 1, and 2, 3, the knees don't go past the toes. 4, nice upright posture. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And okay, we're going to go back to the releve, so standing up on your tippy toes. We'll do 10 of those as well. 1, 2, 3. If you can't go up quite that high, that's okay. You may only lift just a little bit off the floor, just firing those calf muscles. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're going to do all of that again in a wider base of support. So it's called second position in ballet, but so you'll bring your feet out just a little past your hips. Make sure your knees continue to go straight over your toes. We're going to do 10 plies. 1. It can be a very small movement. Sometimes our hips might not open up this wide. So if you're more catty-cornered, that's fine also. Just make sure those knees are always going directly over your toes. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do the same thing here. We'll do our 10 plies, and then we'll do all of our releves or our tippy toes at the same time. So this one's going to be a little more difficult. You may have to send your bottom back as if you were going to sit down in a chair, so that our knees don't go over or past our toes. Okay, so we'll do 10. And I can turn to the side so you can see here. My bottom's going to go a little farther back. 1, 2, as if there was a chair there, and you can even do it in front of a chair if you want to get the feeling for your legs hitting the edge of the chair. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, make sure you have nice upright posture. 3, and 4. Okay, we'll do 10 releves or tippy toes with our feet turned out as best you can. You don't want to crank into any position. Your hips should not hurt, nor your knees or your ankles. We should all be in one line here. So we'll go up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you may feel some cramping in the backs of your calves here if you're not used to it. You can always take a second out, stretch. You can pause the video if you need to, really stretch those calves out, because going up on your tippy toes can sometimes give them a little cramp that they're not used to. Okay, so same thing, my toes are pointed forward. We're going to do 10 tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, doing great. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. We're going to change gears a little bit here. We'll go back to that closer in position, that first position, okay? And we're going to do what's called a tendu, or point your toe, okay? So we're just going to point out straight in front of us. Make sure you're pointing all the way through that foot. I took my shoes off so you can kind of see. You can certainly wear shoes doing this. It's not a big deal. So you're just going to point 1 and back to where you started. 2. If you want to really get a workout from it, push all the way through the floor with every part of your foot. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. We're going to do the same thing out to the side. Brush all the way through that foot till it points. 1, 2. Again, don't worry about what this arm is doing. 3, or you can hold on with both hands if you need to for support. 5, 6, 7, keeping everything nice and tucked under. 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to do to the back. This one can be a little tricky because we tend to want to tip forward. So it might not be as big of a movement, but we're just going to point our toe to the back, keeping everything again tucked under nice and tight. 1, 2, your hand can go on the hip if that's what's comfortable. 3, 4, or again you may be holding on with both hands. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now we're going to take those same movements in those same positions, and we're just going to make it come off the floor. So we're basically just going to kick our foot up. It's called Petit, Battement, or kick. Okay? So those same positions, we'll start going to the front. You're going to continue to brush through the floor, but your foot's going to come off the ground. So it goes like this. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, everything's tucked, nice and tight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you can see this isn't a crazy, we're not trying to kick up as high as we can. We don't want to mess with the integrity of our posture. So if it only comes off a little on the floor, totally fine. If you're not comfortable going only on one foot, you can continue to do the tendus where everything stays in contact with the floor. Out to the side for 10. 1, 2, this should be directly to your side, not in front of you or behind you. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And last 10 to the back. You may feel some shaking going on in your standing leg. It's perfectly normal. You're asking it to hold you in really tightly while your other leg's kind of flying through the air, so it's perfectly normal. Just make sure you're keeping everything nice and tight. 10 to the back. 1, 2, we don't want to see any rocking. Don't tilt with it. Just make it as small as you need to. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, great. So that's the beginning bar series that we have for you. Feel free to play back this tape and do the other leg. You want to make sure that you're doing both sides equally. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.